President John F. Kennedy, who was ambushed and assassinated, once famously said, "When written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and one represents opportunity." When I look back to the crisis in my life, if I can call it that, what transpired still engulfs me, and the flashbacks still play in my mind like a broken record on repeat. Locking myself in my room, trying to prepare for my tort law exam, which was to take place in the next couple of days, a strange fear gnawed at me. I brushed it aside on the pretext of being mere exam pressure. I left home to pick up my younger sister, Sophie, from her school, not knowing what fate had in store for me. I made Sophie board the car, and I was about to make my way in when I was callous and ruthlessly attacked. In the blink of an eye, I was forced into the back seat with immense force, compounded by what seemed like an endless stream of gashes. As I lay on the road in a pool of my own blood, it felt that this was it. Life was over. I was stabbed 23, I repeat 23 times, leaving no stone unturned. I remember the utter helplessness with which my younger sister tried to rescue me with her tiny hands, but in vain. She was stabbed too. I was rushed to the hospital by my driver instantaneously, where the doctors opined that had it been a bit longer, I would not have survived the immense blood loss. Struggling for my life and bearing excruciating torment, unbearable pain. 8 hours of surgery, 10 bottles of blood, over 200 stitches. My life changed. It was really, really hard. As soon as I came from the hospital, this was not over. This was start of another journey, a struggle for justice. Miraculously, the knife stopped a millimeter away from my carotid artery, which is why I'm standing here before you guys. So the next journey, the journey towards justice and trying to get justice, I was told at the outset that it would not be possible for me to pursue the case. It was difficult trying to pick up the pieces, watching my world fall apart, waking up in the hospital bed, numb at times moaning in pain. It was my dad who taught me that why cover my scars when I can let them breathe and turn them into stars. He was there by my side and was ready to take up all possible recourse of justice. Who knew how small our voices are until we scream and shout and plead for help and hear a deafening silence? Later, it was me and my character. There was one segment of the society which continuously character assassinated me and blamed me for bringing this upon me. The toxic mentality of such people was on display for all to see, but it never deterred me from the struggle. Character, you see, is the easiest target. It is exploited in almost every other case, especially pertaining to women. Very recently, Justice Mansoor Ali Shah actually expressly said that expressions like women of loose moral character are unconstitutional and illegal, despite of which such expressions are still used in our courts and allowed by our trial courts. Now, being part of this system, I have seen the same set of questions pop up every now and then. For instance, what's the point of reporting the matter? It's not like my grievance will be redressed or resolved. Law in this country is only for the rich. It is not for someone like me. For someone like me, I had the same perceptions till I went through this system and I realized that there are certain realities which were unveiled upon me. First and foremost, I wholeheartedly believe that every victim should report their perpetrator. Because it is only when the matter is reported that your perpetrator will be held accountable for the crime he committed against you. Keeping silent about the matter will only help the perpetrator loom large, and chances are that you might not be his only victim. So if you have these concerns that, if you go to the police and the police won't register your FIR, you have an alternative remedy. You can always approach the sessions judge, who can then direct the police to register the FIR. And if that doesn't work, you can still file a private complaint. And all these remedies serve equally to start the legal process. Further, I've seen, just like me back then, a considerable section of the society still echoes the same old saying that, the law in our country, it favors the rich and it does not hold any significance for the underprivileged and the downtrodden part of the society. Victims in our society, victims in court, do not have to hire a legal counsel. It is the duty of the state to actually provide them a public prosecutor who then fights for justice for them. My mentor, Advocate Jawad Zafar, who is an advocate of the Supreme Court, and he still takes pro bono cases just like me. So these concerns of being afraid of not approaching the forums should be scrapped from the start. Further, I feel that a considerable section of the public feels and says at times that, the judge will sell out. It is not okay, to say that, because I feel, and been going through the system and now practicing as a lawyer, I have seen that this is not always the case. However, some bad egg lawyers will actually try and attempt to convince you that the judge was sold, when in reality your case was actually mishandled by the investigating agency, or probably it was just a cover-up for his own mistakes, the lawyer's mistakes. So I think all of us should change these perceptions. And when I talk about practicing as a lawyer, and when I talk about the problems that you face, that the public faces in the investigating agency, I'll share a very interesting aspect of this. When I was in hospital, the investigating officer who was appointed handed over my blood-stained clothes to my mom. And my mom, being someone not acquainted with the crucial significance of the clothes, actually left them somewhere in the operation theater from where they disappeared. So this is how crucial pieces of evidence is lost. And this is how cases, they shatter then in the future. So I think if I talk about how I now am practicing as a lawyer, and I think it's very important to shed light on this very important aspect. Being a lawyer and practicing in the fraternity, I have seen that there is a vacuum of female representation, be it in courts, be it in litigation, be it in the judges, be it in the staff. Even though things are progressive, but I feel we still need to change the roles women lawyers are seen mostly as accessories to senior male lawyers. And I feel this can only be inverted once female lawyers we force our way into litigation and change the landscape from top to bottom. Just like John F. Kennedy said, crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and one represents opportunity. My crisis taught me that there is a need to help those in dire need and help heal the scars of people, just like people helped me. So I'm giving back to the society. When I was struggling, when I was fighting my scars, the scars which tattooed on my body from my left arm, my right arm, my neck, my back, they all have a calligraphy of stitches now embedded as scars. But I feel I think I just sign off by stating this, that it is very important to realize and understand that at the end of the storm, the sun still shines. The sun still shines.